All right, Nana.
Yes.
Nana, where are you from originally? Where'd you grow up?
East Side Stockton. Well, I've grew up a lot of different places, but that's mainly it. I mean, I grew up in a small town near Stockton, Rio Vista, for most of my life.
Stockton's Northern California.
Yes.
And tell me about your family growing up.
My family growing up, well, I don't really speak to them anymore. My dad and my mom, my dad was very abusive, and growing up, I would just be around all of that, and him abusing my mother, she left when I was a baby because he would abuse her a lot. And so every woman that would come into his life, he'd mess it up, he'd fuck it up because he'd abused on them. And so I wouldn't really see my mom, just here and there, maybe for a couple of days throughout my life.
So you stayed with your dad, not your mom?
Yes, mostly my dad, but mostly my grandma as well, because when he would be out on the streets not being able to take care of me, I'd be staying with my grandma. So that's my everything, my grandma. But yeah, so once I got a little older and he got custody of me and my grandma had passed, he started taking the anger out on me. And so everything that he used to do to those women, he started doing to me. And so he had about 2 more kids while I was growing up, and he became into hardcore drugs. So I had to be like the mother, and I had to be like that person and to take care of them. So it's it was hard.
How old were you?
How old were I when?
When this was going on,
When
you had to take care of your
my
dad?
my whole high school, middle school type life. So yeah.
Makes your teenage years very difficult.
Yeah, but it also has impacted my life, and it actually somewhat good and bad things because it makes me the person I am, because this is a crazy world. So it did help me to become the person I am now and just know things that I wouldn't probably know till later on in life. So
What kind of things did you learn?
being more mature, for one. For two, just I'm not a mom or nothing yet, but if it ever came to that, I'd know what to do and stuff,
raise
It
kids.
just helped me a little bit and just showed me what from right and wrong, even though I had to figure it out on myself, but I'm still proud of myself for that. So
You graduated high school?
I dropped out, actually. Yeah, I dropped out, and I kind of found my way into this.
What age were you when you started doing this?
I've been doing this for 2 years, and I'm 19 now. So I started as a minor at 17. And because I was around bad people, that influenced me to do this stuff. But there's a good and a bad side of it. If you are with the right people and you have the right mindset, it's not going to be as bad. But I definitely did go through a lot of bad, pimps and guys and experiences along the way, for sure.
What's been the worst thing you've seen?
Seen or happened to me?
Or been through?
Been through.
What's happened to you that?
A lot of things. Let me see. For one, which is very common, a lot of guys are very abusive in this industry, for sure. So they would, let me think. They would abuse me in ways hitting and stuff like that. But let me think. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Maybe you block it out of your memory.
I know. I'm trying to think
It's okay.
of something. What was something that bad?
You don't need to dig it up.
I got a brain fart.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. Where do you stay?
I stay kind of everywhere, to be honest. I be staying at rooms a lot just because I'm staying with my friend. It's kind of bad.
And drugs are a part of your life?
Actually, oh yeah, that is something to talk about. When I first started, I wasn't into drugs and stuff. I was very against it, honestly. And I ran into this one guy, and I didn't even know about this pimping and hoeing and stuff. I really just wanted a relationship with him. And, being young and dumb, you get so and attached and just would want to do anything for the person. So he introduced me to it, and I started doing it for him because, I wanted to be in his life, so I would do anything to do that. And one day he was just like, okay, well, you be getting tired outside. I want you to stay up, have energy so you can make more money. So he got me on pills like Euros and E-pills, which will keep you up. And so I tried it, and I was scared because I saw what my family and everyone have went through as me growing up. I didn't want to end up like that. So I was doing my little research and stuff. And I did it, and it didn't make me feel like crazy, like a druggie off the street. It just made me feel up. So I thought, okay, it does not really do nothing to me. So I just kept going and going to where I would take like 6 pills at once, like €6, 6 E-pills. And
What's a euro?
it's like ecstasy, but I wouldn't take the real ones. I would take the fake ones, which is bad because I didn't know a lot about that stuff. But yeah, I kept taking a lot a day, a night for me to stay up, and I would stay up for days, several days, no sleeping. And I lost a lot of weight from that. And that really, like, when I was maybe 85 pounds, that's when I started to notice. I'm like, and a lot of people are just like commenting saying like, you don't look healthy, like something's wrong. So that's when it kind of made me snap out of it.
85 pounds is, how tall are you?
Yeah, I'm like 5'2".
5'2".
Yeah, my mom's short, so.
What do you weigh now, roughly?
Honestly, I didn't check, but I'm probably around 110, 115.
Yeah, 85 is.
Yeah,
very
so
thin.
that's really bad. And so that's what made me like start worrying about myself. And then life was hard, so I didn't really give a fuck. So I started just doing more and started introducing myself to other things. Being around that one person is going to lead me to other people that's going to introduce me to stuff like that. So honestly, I've done a lot of drugs in my life. I'm safe to say I don't do them anymore, which I'm very proud of myself for that. But I was stuck on crystal meth for the longest, coke. I finished like 20 grams in 2 days. It was bad. And that coke makes you lose a lot of weight too. So I was going through it. And then I would get stuck on the pills again and just all that stuff at once for years. Yeah.
And you're still very young.
Yes, I am. But I'm just starting to get out of that, for sure.
How long have you been in Los Angeles?
I've been in and out of Los Angeles just because I know that there's a lot of opportunities and good money sometimes.
But you live here, or you live?
No, I don't. I come out here for work.
And where do you live?
I would say Oakland right now.
Oakland.
I just came from Oakland like yesterday, actually. So yeah, I just came out here again.
And you have a gentleman helping you?
Yeah, I do. But I love him. He's very different, and it more looks at it as business, not like, bitch, you're my dog or something. You know what I mean? Because a lot of guys will treat you like that, and that's not cool at all.
That's nice.
So.
But you give him all your money.
I do, but he spends it all on me. So he just manages it.
That's how it works when it works.
Yes, he manages it for me because I have a very bad spending problem, and I'll spend all my money at once.
See, that's the little secret
on
that a lot of people.
And all that stuff.
That's the secret that a lot of people don't understand is that.
Yeah.
You girls will spend every cent you make.
Yeah, and it's not perfect. We'll have arguments and stuff. Like I'm a little bipolar, but at the end of the day, it's cool and I enjoy it.
I'm glad you don't have
and
that.
It's good money. It's a lot of money that people can't even make in a little amount of time, which
what do you make a night, roughly?
Well, let's say out here, it depends if it's slow or not. But there's times where I made like 15 to 2,000 a night, which is good. But if it's slow, you could literally make to like 500 around that. So
And
it really depends.
You make more or less in Oakland?
It could be around the same, but maybe LA is probably better for money. Yeah.
Emotionally, what does this lifestyle do to you?
Emotionally, it's kind of like a roller coaster. Sometimes I'd be stressed out to a point where it's like I don't want to do this anymore, because at the end of the day, it is risky. Like I've experienced, for example, one time I was in Stockton working, and there was this guy that wanted to date me for an hour for a band, and I was like, okay, that's fine. And he starts driving and driving. And I'm texting my friend, and I'm like, I didn't have nobody. I was a renegade, so I was by myself at the time. And I was telling her, like, the description of him, because I'm just, we're just having each other back. And she's like, I think I know who that is. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And then she starts telling me, like, he was on some weird stuff, trying to take the money, had guns and stuff. So then I started texting. And he's all peeking at my phone, like, looking like, like, what's up? Like, what's going on? Starts getting irritated. And so he had me in the car for about 4 hours. And by the time I got out, it was like 4 a.m. of his car. But he drove me into like in the middle of nowhere, like the back end of Stockton, where there's hella like railroads and big old buildings and stuff. And he wanted to have sex, and he put the gun to my head and said, if we don't have it, then I'm gonna kill you. And I'm like, that's crazy, you crazy. So I did it because I didn't want myself to get in any worse situation than it could have been at the moment. And so he did it, and it was very disgusting. Like, he was dripping sweat, like there was something wrong with him, like he was off drugs or something. It was a Mexican guy with the hat and some fake chains and stuff, acted like he was all this in this beat up van. And it went on for about an hour. But he did have the money already, like that he gave me, which was $1,000. But when we were done, he took it and he put the gun to my head and took my phone and told me to get out the car. So then I was stranded for about an hour outside. I was scared, honestly. And then I ran into some people, and I had to, I didn't know any phone numbers by heart or nothing. So I was nervous because it was late. Everyone's going to start going home. I was just panicking. But then I had got a hold of my friend through Instagram, logging into my account. I had to make a whole new account, following her and everything. And I got a hold of her, and her friends picked me up. That's one thing. But there's other, crazy little times that the tricks be putting me through. Like, sometimes you got to be smarter on whose car you get into, because you never know. They can act cool at first, and then it could be a whole new thing once you in that car. And so I remember one time I got in a car crash because he was drunk, and he fell. It was in, where was it? It was in Oakland, I think. And we were driving down this railroad, and I'm like, where are you taking him? And it stops, like it's a whole ditch, so the railroad, and then boom, and the car fell like this, and it was just bad. So I had to go, and I had to run because I had a warrant. And he was talking about, oh, I'm finna call the police because my car, da 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 da. I'm like, oh my God, I was running so fast because I heard they're coming. I had this homeless man chasing me down. I'm like, what the fuck going on? He's off drugs. I'm like, dude, you're cracked the fuck out. And I'm just trying to work with him. He was showing me the way back to the blade and everything. I was running butt naked. It's crazy. But yeah.
And you think you'll be doing this for how much longer?
Honestly, if I keep doing it, I want to make the best out of it. So in my mind, I know I'm not going to stop anytime soon. So I want to make the best of it. I really want to find the right person, like I feel like I have, to stack the money and then build with that money.
Do you have money saved up already?
Not that much, because I'm a little spender for real. But I do want to work on that for sure. That's something that I need to work on. But I I like to do nails and stuff. I want to get into start my own little business. So if this is the route that I want to do right now, I can use it for something else and start my little nail business, little beauty business, and use that money to go towards that. I feel like that would be a good idea.
Isn't it dressed like that? Isn't it cold as can be outside?
It do be cold, and actually, I don't even dress like this all the time. Like, I'll go out in gray leggings and like a little revealing shirt and some heels.
Yeah, you'll make more money dressed like this.
And a fur coat and make good money like that. I went out on the blade, and people can hate on me, whatever they want. I don't care. I was in Sac, and I was wearing booty shorts, some slides, and a hoodie, like a real hoodie, black hoodie, and I made some good money. You don't need to be dressed up like all naked to be getting money. Well, for me at least, because I'm pretty.
You are. What do you think people that aren't from this lifestyle don't understand about it?
I feel like people that aren't doing what I'm doing, they'll judge. They'll judge a lot, but it's like at the end of the day, I could see where you're coming from, but at the end of the day, it's our lives. We're going to make our choices, and we're going to do what we do, but
it's just a hustle.
Yeah, just like guys go out and sell drugs, and people go working at a restaurant. Y'all still finna make y'all money. I'm still finna make mine. I'm just making more than you.
Do you think prostitution should be legalized?
Yes. Of course, me saying it. But yes, I feel like if it's not, I feel like what they should really be looking for is the dirty tricks that be trying to kill these people, these girls out here. That's what they need to be looking for. But no, I feel like it's fine. Honestly, it's just like hustling. That's what it is.
How do you think you've changed in the couple of years you've been doing it?
Not gonna lie, I used to be a little shy girl that I don't know. I just wasn't the same. But just being around people changed me, honestly. But
How do you think you've changed your opinion on men?
On men, my dad always told me, stay away from these men. They're never gonna do you right. I went right to him. But I don't know. I've always been a little thirsty for men, but now especially, I just feel like all I need is one. Because these guys be wasting your time for real. They be leading you in the wrong direction. You just need to find a good one and stick with them if that's what you're looking for.
Do you get guys asking you to like do sex without condoms or
Yes.
things like that?
Yes.
How do you handle that?
You gotta say no, because at the end of the day, a lot of these guys are very dirty, and they will have STDs and nasty stuff going on down there that you don't want to catch. So all money, I always say this, all money is not good money. If he says, I want to have sex with no condom, or I want to have head with no condom, I have 500 or a band right now. No. It's not worth it. All money is not good money, and you're going to fuck around and end up in the motherfucking hospital over some stupid little money that you could go make somewhere else. It might take 10 hours for you to make that. It might take you days to make it, but it's not worth it, for real. That's what I learned.
Let me ask you one more question. What would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
Most important lesson I've learned in my life. I don't know. Most important.
You're young.
Huh?
You're very young. You haven't learned anything yet.
I am, but I have learned things, but there's still a lot more to learn for sure. But
you seem to have a good head on your shoulders.
Huh?
You seem to have a good head on your shoulders.
Yeah, thank you. I just feel like one thing I've learned is if somebody like me wants to be in this industry, make sure you have a smart brain and you move the right way. Because if you're really dedicated to it, then you need to think right, move right, so nothing bad happens. Because your life can end like this, especially doing this stuff. So just be smart about every move you do and who you're around, and you can get far, for real.
All right.
That's
No. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
You're welcome. I mean, there's a lot more to say, but I have brain farts a lot, but
It's okay. Thank you very much.
of course.